All right, ladies and gents, welcome to this video. My name is Tyler Bitcher. We're going to talk about Trojan Horse Recruiting, a new system that we've been developing in Better AMS and how it's got a 100% call booking rate. Yes, a 100% call booking rate. And I don't want to say it's because our agency is enlightened and that our team is the equivalent of walking avatars on earth like Buddha, Krishna, Jesus Christ, or any of these other quote-unquote avatars that religions have been formed around. But that's probably why it is. Anyways, the actual truth is that our system does have a 100% call booking rate. It's just that we've only sent one message. And the system's not even done. So Trojan Horse Recruiting, it's designed to get you discovery calls with ideal candidates, the ideal talent / ideal candidates that you really want to have join your team. And it's the same process as Trojan Horse Marketing. The only difference is instead of going after ideal clients, we're going after ideal talent. And yes, it's pretty much the exact same process. There's a few differences in it, but overall, we're still sending a very simple 1 to 2 minute Loom video. It's actually going to be like less than a minute long. Basically reaching out to the the candidate that we've sourced, that our virtual assistant team has sourced, and saying like, hey, John, saw your profile, love your experience. First of all, I just want to congrats on your experience in this industry, blah, blah, blah. It's all super genuine. Like none of it is fake. It's all very real. And obviously it sounds a bit templated and scripted when I'm talking about it from this third-party observer perspective right now, but it is very true. And I make the looms myself, and it feels really genuine. It feels really real because it is really real. And that's, I think, why we have 100% call booking rate, even though we've only sent one message. So it's a great system. I'm very excited to release it. This is kind of a quick overview of what the system is starting to look like. And now we're starting to build a lot of the training within this wiki tool called Notion. This is what I got done today. I got down a solid brain dump. And the context here, the system goal is really we want to have a less than 30-day turnaround time for hiring someone. And I think I spoke about this on a previous video. It's not the easiest goal to achieve by any means. I think it's very difficult, especially when you consider that, when you hire someone, there's typically a 2-week notice. And so even if you get within less than 30 days, at like day 29, it's really day 45 when they join the team. So I would love to get it to like less than 15 days so that it's a less than 30-day actual start time. But the point is that your agency is really going to need a recruiting engine behind it when you get up to like $100,000 per month and you start scaling pretty quickly. I wish that we would have done this probably 9 months ago to 6 months ago, but I started it, I never finished it, and to say the least, I'm very happy that we're getting it done now. But you're really going to need this because talent is the biggest bottleneck, I think, in any company, including companies like Facebook and Google. One of the things that they want the most is great talent. It's a very hard thing to find. And by no means can I even begin to try to compare our recruiting system to Google's or Amazon's or any of these big companies. I don't even know what theirs looks like, but I imagine it's far more sophisticated. But if you're small and you're doing less than $100,000 per month, or you're at over around $100,000 per month, I think a system like this will truly solve the bottleneck for, I think, in our agency at least a couple years. Granted, we do have 2 recruiters. One just started and one we've been working with for like 6 to 7 months, who are doing their own thing on top of what we're going to do with Trojan Horse Recruiting. So we kind of have like an internal recruiting system, and we're going to have 2 external recruiters to supplement that whole engine, and that's kind of how it is right now. But sourcing, as you know, this is pretty much just the process of finding ideal candidates. And this is what the virtual assistants do with Trojan Horse Marketing is they'll go out and they'll find the ideal prospects that you want to work with based on the ideal client avatar that you've given them. Pretty straightforward stuff. Okay, it's the same process with Trojan Horse Recruiting. And then we give them the ideal talent profile, which basically just defines exactly who we're looking for. Instead of the ideal client profile, it's the talent profile, otherwise known as candidate profile. And then I'm finishing this out, and we're going to use Asana as our outbound talent pipeline. That's what this is going to be called. And this is the stages. So you can see we connect with them, we send a loom, and then we go through the interview process, assuming they make it to the next stages. And we got Johnny Bravo in here and SpongeBob. The real applicant who has entered this process is, of course, blurred out. But that is the guy who has resulted in a 100% call book. And he's a legend. Like, I am super excited about him and talking with him. We had a great call just a couple of days ago. Just straight up, dude, really genuine. I think he's got a very solid EQ. I didn't go too deep on, anyways, that's irrelevant, but just a really great ideal candidate that I was like, wow, this would be a great person to have on the team. And I'm very excited that we're talking with him. And it came from Trojan Horse Recruiting, which is so exciting. So that's pretty much a walkthrough. And the last thing we have here is the Trojan Horse Recruiting database, which is another key component of the system, which is where the recruiters or the sorcerers, I'm going to call them sorcerers, not sorcerers, are going to be putting all of the ideal talent that we find. And this is basically a very simple database, and then we're going to bulk import, I think in batches of 100, into Asana. And then, of course, we're not always going to need to be reaching out to people. So here's the beauty of this system, and I'm kind of just brain dumping the system onto you as I speak here. But imagine like you need to hire someone tomorrow, and you get that person hired. Great. Well, you're probably not going to need to hire somebody for that role for maybe, let's just say, 2 to 3 months. But 2 to 3 months arrives, and 2 to 3 months later arrives, and now you're like, okay, I need to hire someone. We're getting to the point where we feel like we need to start proactively looking for someone if we're going to make a proactive hire. Proactive hires is definitely much better than reactive hires, because reactively hiring in your agency is going to result in ups and downs in terms of your MRR and everything else, and it's going to cause chaos because you're going to be overloading people, and it's just not a good position to be in when you have ideal clients coming through the pipeline and you don't have the capacity to take them on. It sucks. And in almost all cases, most agencies will just take them on. We do our best to delay it by 30, 45 days. We'll tell the brand hey, we can work with you, but we can't start for 45 days. And then we have a window for us to make a hire. But anyways, so this is the database. It's pretty simple. And yeah, it's just got a simple column that says review, and I'm going to personally approve or reject them. And eventually I'll probably have this outsourced and trained to one of our top sorcerers who seems to be doing the best. And right now we have someone on our team that I think is going to take this over very well and be able to manage it. But I will still be sending the looms. And this kind of takes us to another point, which is our agency is decent. It's very small relative to your typical agency in the world. But I'm still willing to do things that are very manual and don't scale. I know I talk a lot about automations and stuff, but look, you guys kind of got to think sometimes it's best to do things that don't scale. That's why I'm a huge fan of Trojan Horse Marketing. That's why I'm a huge fan of this Trojan Horse Recruiting system. That's why I'm a huge fan of sending looms. A loom does not scale. You can't automate a loom video. It's literally a personalized custom video that you're sending to someone, whether it be a ideal talent candidate or a prospect. And so, yes, it doesn't scale, but why would you end up doing it? Because it builds a far deeper connection. It prevents your brand from being destroyed from using mass automation too heavily. You see a lot of people on LinkedIn using these automation tools in a way that I don't think should be used. And they start abusing it, and they use it to a degree that is just wow, you are really pushing the limits on that thing. And you know what? I did these things 2-3 years ago. I used a lot of these automations and tactics, but the market changes and niches become saturated, and you got to be aware of that. And so anyways, doing things that don't scale, this is an example of one of those things. And I totally feel fine doing 100, 200, 300 looms a month if we really need to hire someone. Because keep in mind, this recruiting system is like a sniper rifle approach. It's not shotgun. It's not anything else. It is truly, we're trying to find the best talent. And so I don't want to send them an automated message, because I am representing the brand, Better AMS, or whoever reaches out to them, whether it's a recruiter or us. We're representing the Better AMS brand. And I want that to be a very personal touch, because I feel like we do our best to have a very personal high level of camaraderie culture inside Better AMS, and that won't be felt if it's, we reach out to them through an automated message. So anyways, this is a brain dump on the system. It does have 100% callback rate. I swear to God, I'm not even lying. We sent out one message and we got one phone call booked. And that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts on this. I know this is kind of a rant and a brain dump on a new system that's not even finished, but I like to share things I'm working on. It's easy content, it's easy videos, and if you guys like it too, well, then I'll keep doing it, and we'll have a good relationship together in this life between Panama City and wherever you are on the other side of the world. All right, much love, you guys, and ladies and gents, thank you so much. Hit the subscribe button, hit the comment button, hit the like button, hit every single button, and leave me a comment below. All these things help the algorithm, but honestly, your feedback is what I consider most important. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I do respond to all comments. It just takes me sometimes a week or two. All right, much love. I'll see you next one. Ciao.